Hey guys, how are you?
Oh, we are back. That's okay. We are you have a lot of adoring fans and stuff.
I don't know
You
about
talked
that.
to Michael Odom for
Okay.
the paper this week and talked about defensive intensity.
Okay.
You had it in the last game. In the first quarter of this one, you turned it up. It went up another notch. Y'all were all over. I have an old expression. Y'all were all over them like white on rice in the first quarter.
So, I said that to my assistants today when we got done with the game. I just felt like in the last 2 weeks, our intensity defensively, I don't know. I think some of it's just understanding from the younger players. They're understanding the concepts of how we want to run and jump, when is a good time to go, when's not, trusting your teammates when you do run and jump to rotate from the backside. And I think a lot of it's just trust and learning each other. And, we said back in September, October that this season was probably going to be hard at times because we were so young, but it would pay off by the time playoffs got here. And I feel like that's kind of what you're seeing is the fruits of our labor, where we had some struggle moments, but now we're growing up. And I don't know, it's really fun to watch us play defense. Now, we don't always score. Scoring is still hard. But if you're a defensive person and you like watching the run, the jump, the rotations, then you probably really do like watching what
I even like it when y'all trap, Katie, because there's sometimes you run and jump is the basis of the defense.
Correct, it is.
But sometimes they run and trap, and you still rotate well, but you had active hands and feet. Tonight, all of them played hard. But Ivy Ciancillo was everywhere, knocking balls loose. Serenity early in that first quarter, and she played hard the whole ball game. She had a bunch of touches, steals, deflections, and scored also, and you had to be happy about that.
Extremely happy. The Crockett game last week, once we got the film graded back, we had, I think, 21 deflections. That's something we talk about a lot with the deflections is you don't know what you just saved. You might have saved a layup. You might have saved a pass for a layup, or you might have, you're saving your teammate from a quick, ball reversal, because I hate quick ball reversals. So if you can get a tip, you're allowing your teammates to rotate and get back into position. So we talk a lot about deflections and what they do for us. It's not just, mindless, hey, whatever, there's a reason why. And so I think the girls are starting to understand the reasoning why we do what we do. And so they're bought in, they love doing it, and you can just tell by how they play how much they're bought into, what we're selling and then each other. We're just in a really good spot right now.
And Jade Reed, as usual, played, I call it Windex Lady or chairman of the boards. A lot of people rebounded, but she comes up with some big rebounds.
She really does. Just her knack for understanding the ball and where it's going, and her physicality really allows her to rebound the ball really well. She's still, last week I was worried when we played Crockett. We had Jade had missed a couple days with bronchitis. I had a couple others that were kind of feeling fluish, and I was really concerned about last week. And they showed some toughness in that Crockett game that I wasn't sure we really had, so they surprised me. But I don't think Jade's still feeling quite 100% yet, and that's why you're seeing her sub out quite a bit more, just trying to, monitor her minutes. But when she's in the game, she is an impact player. And so trying to just get her back healthy where, she can play her usual 24, 27 minutes.
You've been complimented by some of the old guys I sit at the table with.
Are they here?
No, they watch the games always on TV. They're from Jackson, but they're watching Lady Hornet basketball. They want to know how you handle the substitution rotations, because we got to talking about it, and I said, well, I'm going to let her tell y'all. But I said it's harder because she's, one, got a player that's out now with a knee injury, and two, she's had sickness. So you explain how you have to change your rotation just about every game lately.
The last two games especially have been a little bit so usually for the most part Preston does the subbing. He does a fantastic job when he does the subbing. But right now with the injuries, the sickness, he's kind of been like, hey, I want you to rotate him for a couple games so I can see how the rotations and what you're looking for now, because we are missing Addie. Addie's been dealt a tough blow again, and so watching her maturity and her, just her grace in handling her situation, it's just remarkable. She's a remarkable kid. So losing her, she's a 45% shooter. I mean, there's just a lot with that. And then having Jade sick, and then having Ivy expend as much energy as she does. She's a lot better when we can rotate her out. And so I thought Anna has done a good job stepping up. Ava has done a good job stepping up. And Trinity has really stepped up in the last couple of weeks to allow us to sit Ivy and Faith. And giving us good defensive minutes as well as offensive minutes. And so her and Serenity both are allowing us to sit some of these kids so they can rest. But generally we try to sub, I usually sub Ivy first, her, Faith, and then we try to make sure we give Jade a couple of minutes at the end of the first. And so really rotating. Carson, bless her, she really doesn't get the sub, so she's just got to suck it up and go. But that's what most point guards do anyways. But I mean, there's a madness to the subbing. I wouldn't say it's just helter-skelter, but it's just kind of getting a feel for the game and who needs what.
Absolutely. The two freshmen, and you're playing more than two. There's three, the Johnson sister and Ava. The freshmen have to step up even one more step, and they've stepped up.
Oh, 100%.
But they've got to step up now with the injury to Addie a little bit more.
I thought in the last two games you have seen Trinity finish at the rim, where I think earlier in the season she was frustrated trying to learn the pace of high school. And also, in 8th grade, she was bigger than everybody. She was more physically dominant. And so getting to high school and you're 14, 15, and you're going against 17, 18-year-olds, learning that and adjusting to that kind of, that physicality and that speed. And again, I think it's now February, and she's realizing, hey, this is how I got to do things, this is how I got to make adjustments, and she's done a great job. Serenity's the same way. She's a little bit of a different player where she can really step out on the outside and shoot. Serenity has a great shot. She also can guard the point guard, or she can go guard the 5, which is very versatile, just like Jade is, which allows us to run that run and jump and switch 1 through 5 like we like to. Just their versatility. Who else? Ava. So I was talking about Ava to her today, where you see the stats from the other two freshmen. You see their rebounds, their points, this. The things you don't see from Ava on a stat sheet, you don't see her toughness. You don't see her bully her way into getting a jump ball, her deflections, her screens that she sets. It's just her toughness. It reminds me of Ellie Thetford. I know you probably didn't watch. You probably didn't watch. I don't know how you weren't really watching this as much when I had Ellie, but Ellie.
I got to see her some, and it's those stats that bust your posterior stats is what they have.
They have to. You have to have them, and we haven't had a kid in the program in a couple years since Ellie graduated, and so I having her feel that. I mean, it's very Ellie Thetford like, and
that's a compliment.
It's a big compliment because Ellie is way up in my books.
I like that gleam in your eye.
Ellie is, she's top tier people.
Friday night, we got Gibson County.
I know, I'm so excited. Tell your old man they need to come watch.
I'll try to get them here, though, if they watch every game.
That's awesome. Well, hey, guys, thanks for watching.
You and I just got to sit down and tape a show one day. I'm going to get Paul to come over here. We're going to sit down and talk basketball.
I love it. I would love to.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
She is, the beautiful and wise coach, Catie Embrey. And we are just about ready. Alex is going to step back in here. Good win, Coach, as always, and we'll be here Friday night, like you said.